Gem Blender's Tag Team Christmas is an alternative blending format where teams play against other teams of 2 players each, allowing for the sharing of resources, glory, and the Christmas spirit. If this sounds interesting, listen ahead and I'll explain the rules. Once you have found a teammate, you will decide on player A and B. When playing against another team, the 2 A players and the 2 B players will sit across each other respectively. The 2 A players will decide which team to go first. Then the turn order will be A player from team 1, A player from team 2, B player from team 1, B player from team 2 before going back to the A player from team 1. Each team will have a shared health pool of 30. Whenever a teammate will take damage, their shared health will go down. Round rules stays as normal. As per normal, the player to go first cannot draw and cannot attack during their first turn. As well, no one can attack an opponent that hasn't had their first turn yet. A player can declare an attack against either opponent but only one opponent at a time, meaning that their heroes have to attack the heroes of one opponent and not both. Other than that, attacking goes as normal. Getting to what makes this format especially Christmassy is the rules about effect sharing. Whenever a player activates an effect, whether it be from playing an action or activating a hero effect, both players can use that effect in full if able. That also means that if there is a cost associated with the effect, both players will have to be able to independently pay the cost in order to both benefit from the effect. Providing some examples of how this will work out in a real game, if a player plays Gem Search, both they and their teammate will be able to search their own decks for a gem. If a player plays Draw, both they and their teammate has to put a card from their own hands at the bottom of their own decks in order to draw 2 cards from their own decks. If a player plays Collect, both they and their teammate gets to look at the top 4 cards of their own decks and then places one of those into her hand, the rest on top of their own decks. The same goes for hero effects. If a player uses Fatima during the first turn, both they and their teammate gets to search their own decks for 2 gems. If a player uses Gloria, their teammate also has to be able to discard level 2 or level 3 blend from their hand in order to search their own deck for a gem. When playing effects like switches, both players may switch the position of a hero on their own field with another hero on their own field. They may not switch heroes between each other. When playing aggressive effects like stuns and force returns, both players on a team gets to choose a target. It does not have to be against the same opponent. Some heroes and blends have static effects that are always in play. Both players on a team benefits from those, as long as the initial requirements are met, such as for Magnet. As long as Magnet is in the back position because it doesn't require it to be your back position, both players on a team gets to have their Electro Gem count as any type of gem. The same with Bloom Irrigator, both players on the team gets to return 3 Aqua Gems that are being discarded from the field back into their hand. However, Bloom Irrigator cannot return more than 3 gems per turn. The limit is on the hero, not on the players. Some hero and blend effects references themselves. These effects cannot be shared between players. Pylon Capacitor, for example, only buffs itself because it says this hero that is gaining the attack, so you cannot copy it. Electron cannot be copied because it's this hero that's being switched and your teammate does not have this hero. Crystal Reflector can only copy the effects of your own heroes because it has to be your heroes and it's only this hero's effects that are being changed, so you cannot copy that between players. The same reasoning lies behind effects like Bishop and Ushers, where they require you to deblend this hero because your teammate does not have this hero that's being deblended. They cannot meet the full requirements of their effects and therefore they cannot benefit from the effects either. And these have been the rules of Gem Blender's Tag Team Christmas. They're very much still in their infancy and there might be changes and modifications over time, especially to stuff like the health pool, because we don't want the games to be too long, but we also don't want to incentivize too much aggro. It is known and intentional that some cards will be broken in this format. It is not supposed to be balanced, it's supposed to be fun for a very short amount of time of the year, as well as to incentivize people actually sharing effects amongst each other and having a shared experience with it, getting into the Christmas spirit. Some of the rules, such as not exchanging physical cards between players, are meant so two strangers can play on the same team without fearing that they forget cards with the other player. So you don't have to limit yourself to play with players you know and trust. I'll upload a written document with the rules to the Discord server very soon, and hopefully we'll be able to have an online event on the 20th, 21st or 22nd, and just have a very jolly time playing some very broken decks together and just having some good old fun. Otherwise, if you have any disagreements, any questions, any suggestions, please get at me in the comments or on the Discord server. And here at the end, I just want to wish you a happy holidays!